Hey everyone, Mike here. I was looking online and I noticed that I see a lot of videos of people explaining the different foot shapes that Altra has to offer, but I rarely see videos of people showing the differences. So today, I have 4 shoes from Altra and 1 shoe from Nike to demonstrate those differences and maybe help you narrow down your selection when you're looking for the right fit in your Altra shoe. If you're new to Altra, it can be confusing trying to view their catalog for the first time. You have many different fits. You got slim, standard, traditional, wide. All of these shoes offered in different levels of support and cushioning. Their website has a decent interactive shoe finder, but I feel like it leaves out some vital details when trying to pick out the perfect fit. As a quick disclaimer, I'm not affiliated with Altra in any way. I'm receiving nothing for this video, and everything that you see here I've purchased with my own money. I just really like Altra shoes. I like making these videos, and most of all, I like helping you make informed decisions so you can bypass some of the mistakes I made when I was first purchasing some of these products. So with that out of the way, no intro, no bullshit, no filler, I want to hop right to the demonstration, but first I want to do a quick overview on the foot shapes that Altra has to offer. So behind me we have the Rivera, the Torin Wide, the Lone Peaks, and a guest appearance by a Nike Revolution 4. I don't own many running shoes besides Altra, so this old Nike's gonna have to do. With the Nike, this is your typical foot shape you see in almost every shoe out on the market, probably 95-99% of them. What you'll notice here is that you have a slim heel, a slim midfoot, and that toe box points up right toward the center of that foot, kind of narrowing those toes toward that center point. Next up, we have the Rivera from Altra, and this is Altra's slim foot shape. So the first thing you'll notice here is that you have that slim heel, you have that slim midfoot, but right up here in that toe box, it's a little more room. It lets that toe splay a little more. You have more room on the outer edge of your foot by your pinky, and also more room right by your big toe. Not a significant amount, but definitely more than that Nike has to offer. Next we have the Torin. This is the standard foot shape that Altra has to offer. First thing you'll notice here is that definitely more room in that heel, definitely more room in the center of that foot, and that toe box is very wide. Gives a good amount of room for your toes to splay. And here we have another Torin. This one is still the standard foot shape, but this is the wide version. Now you'll notice here, I don't know if you can see it on camera right away, we'll get some close-ups in a minute, but heel definitely wider, midfoot definitely wider, but this toe box, this is a big toe box. I was quite surprised when I got these shoes to just see how much room is in that toe box, but this is still your standard version of this foot shape. This is just your wide version of it. And last but not least, we have the good old Lone Peaks. This is your traditional foot shape. This, for the most part, is going to offer the most room in that heel, in that midfoot, and in that toe box. This is your widest fit, the traditional. Altra offers most of their shoes in the standard foot shape. That should really be the foot shape that works for most people, but I do own a pair of each of their different foot shapes, so as I go through with the demonstrations, I'll explain why you may want to choose a certain foot shape or why you may want to avoid it. First, here's a look at my extremely average foot. It typically fits in a size 10.5 US, and at the widest point, my foot is 4 inches across, or about 10 centimeters. And right there, you can notice my tailor's bunion, which I'm trying hard to fix. For the most part, it's a pretty normal foot, and should provide a good test subject for the demonstrations. First, let's take a look at this Nike to get a baseline. Here's the Nike next to my unshodden hoof. As you can see right away, the shoe angles my toes toward the medial line of my foot. The Nike has a thin yet rigid upper mesh, and hugs the foot from both sides. There's not much room on the outer edge of the foot for my pinky toes, and my big toe is hugged tightly by the inner edges as well. The midfoot is snug and form-fitting as well, likewise is the heel, and while it's tight, it's far from being uncomfortable. I'm not going to say this is a bad shoe, or that everyone should switch over to Altra or any other shoe with a wide toe box. Not at all. Everyone has a unique foot, and everyone has their own preferences. Personally, I like a shoe with a bit of a wider toe box and a little extra room in that midfoot and that heel. That never hurts either. So with that baseline, let's take a look at Altra's lineup, starting with the slim. First up for Altra, we have the Riveras, which are the slim foot shape. Right away, you can notice that it looks similar to that Nike, but due to that stretchy upper material, my toes actually feel much less constrained. The outer and inner edges of my foot are hugged by that mesh, and you can see my pinky toe, tailor's bunion, and big toe pretty prominently. It also hugs my arch tightly, but not uncomfortably, and the heel is wedged in there pretty good. Overall, the upper knit provides a bit of elasticity so that I can wiggle my toes, but this foot shape is designed to hug your foot and give you max security for moving fast. The slim foot shape would be my choice for speed workouts, for 5Ks, for 10Ks, maybe even up to that half marathon distance. I did wear the Riveras on a 20-mile training run, and neither my foot nor the shoe exploded. However, I did notice a bit of pressure along that outer edge of the shoe, right by my pinky toe, so I usually save these for those speed workouts, for that short stuff. Next we have the Torrens and the standard foot shape. First we're going to try on regular, then we're going to try on wide. Next we have the Torrens and the standard foot shape. First we're going to try on regular, then we're going to try on the wides. Much easier. Looking at them side by side in the slim fit, you can notice right away there's much more room in that toe box. The standard is also designed for a secure fit, but taking a look at that toe box, it's apparent there's much more room for those toes to move. Personally, I notice the extra room much more on the lateral edge of the shoe along my smaller toes, but there's also more room for that big toe as well. The midfoot and heel also have some noticeable increases in room, but it's most apparent in that toe box for me. Next, we have the wide Torrens, which are still classified in the standard foot shape. The wides provide more room in the midfoot, but the width is most noticeable in that toe box along the widest part of my foot by that tailor's bunion. Just look at all that extra room you get. You can really get a good toe splay with a toe box this big. For me, this is actually almost too much room for a general training run. If I'm wearing some thicker socks, or if I'm doing some long distance stuff where my feet might swell, that's where I'd really see a benefit in this foot shape. The standard foot shape is my choice as an everyday trainer and something that I would use on a half, a full, or even an ultra marathon. They provide a secure fit for days where I want to do some speed work, but are comfortable enough for long runs and for those long races. Now, would I recommend normal or wide? I like them both, but I think I would go with normal. Primarily, it's just easier to find the normal on the shelves. Wide, it's either always out of stock or always full price. You can usually find the normal for a bit of a discount. I also like the standards because I can use them on an impromptu speed workout. Sometimes I don't know until I'm out the door and a few miles down the road if I'm up for a speed workout that day. So it's always nice to have the ability to choose which kind of workout I want to do on the fly. The wides are really great though and provide a ton of room in that toe box for your feet to splay out, plus that midfoot. There is a lot of room there. These would be my choice for a dedicated long run shoe or even an ultramarathon shoe. A lot of times during an ultramarathon, my feet will swell up, or sometimes I want to wear just a really thick pair of socks. So having the standard and the wide would be great for that. Next up, we have a pair of Lone Peaks, which are the traditional foot shape. Now, the Lone Peaks are a trail shoe designed for protection over comfort and durability, so it won't be a direct one-to-one comparison based off the other road shoes I have here, but the fit is very similar to the standard wide foot shape, so it's close enough. And just so you know, there are only 3 shoes in Altra's lineup that have this traditional foot shape, 2 of those being trail shoes, which are the Lone Peaks and the Olympus, and one of those is their Ultra Plush, Ultra Cushion road shoe. Those are the Via Olympus. A little bit confusing having the Olympus trail shoe and the Via Olympus road shoe, but deal with it. Looking at the traditional next to the standard, it's not immediately noticeable the differences, but the biggest one I feel would be the extra room for my pinky toes and in the midfoot. It's not a gigantic leap in the size or the feel, but it's noticeable when you put the shoe on, and in my opinion, it's most noticeable after you've been on your feet all day. The midfoot is also spacious and gives a solid platform for my foot to stretch out on, and the back is secure, but wide enough to fit my heel comfortably. The traditional foot shape is my choice for an all-day or multi-day excursion where slow and steady wins the race. The extra room in the traditional means that I can wear any type of sock, from a thin running sock to a thick trail sock, and if my feet happen to swell from prolonged use, they have plenty of room to do so. The traditional foot shape may look a little bit clunky. I've even heard it looks like a clown shoe, but I guarantee when it's on, you're really going to appreciate the extra room in your heel, your midfoot, and especially that toe box. Okay, for anyone looking for a summary, you either didn't watch the previous few minutes or you watched it and there was just a lot of information, I'm going to give a breakdown of the slim, the standard, and the traditional. I would choose the slim foot shape for speed workout and any races that are under a half marathon. As of 2023, Altra only offers 3 shoes in the slim category, those being the Rivera, the Vanish Carbon, and the Outroad, all with the purpose of moving fast. I would not recommend the slim foot shape as a daily trainer. Instead, I would look at the standard or even the traditional. This is definitely a shoe meant to go fast. It's not meant to go long, but it's a very nice shoe to have in your lineup if you can afford it. As for the standard foot shape, this would be my choice as a daily trainer. I like it because it's secure enough to do speed work, but also comfortable enough and has enough room to do those long training runs. For my average size foot, the regular standard feels great, but I do like the additional room that the wide has to offer, both in that midfoot and the toe box, and those would be my choice as a dedicated long run shoe or a dedicated ultramarathon shoe. Last up, we have the traditional foot shape. This would also be a great foot shape as a daily trainer, however the offerings are pretty limited in this category. As I mentioned, there are also only 3 shoes in the traditional lineup, those being the Lone Peaks, the Olympus, and the Via Olympus. This is probably my favorite fit, giving the most room in the heel, the midfoot, and the toe box, and the Lone Peaks specifically are my choice for all my hiking and trail running needs. I hope this video helped you decode the Altra foot shapes and see the differences in each fit. Personally, I always have a pair of the standard foot shape Taurans and the traditional foot shape Lone Peaks in my lineup. This duo covers all of my racing and training needs. Altra's offerings in the slim foot shape category look amazing, especially that Vanish Carbon. I've been really tempted to pick that one up for some shorter races, but I don't do many shorter distance races, so I really can't justify buying a brand new pair, but your needs may be very different than mine. So that's it. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. And if you don't want to, that's all good too. I'm just happy you're here, and I'm hoping that I helped you out. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that down below. And if you have any information that may help someone else that I didn't go over, please leave that down below in the comments too. Spread the knowledge. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate everyone being here, and no matter what foot shape or what brand of shoe you choose, I can't wait to see you do something amazing. So with that baseline, let's look at Altra's lineup, starting with the slim foot shape in the Rivera. Let's take a look at Altra's lineup, starting with the slim. Starting with the slim. The slim.